What if you could create a movie? Not with a camera, but just with a sentence. Today, we're diving into a massive shift in how video gets made. And I'm not talking about just slightly better editing tools. Nope. We're talking about a completely new way to bring stories and ideas to life with moving images. And it's all being powered by AI. You know, for the longest time, AI in video was kind of boring, right? It meant some small tweaks, maybe better object tracking or some auto captions, but that's all in the past. We are now stepping into a totally new era. It's a genuine paradigm shift for how all video is going to be created from here on out. And this quote, this right here, it just nails the absolute heart of this change. This is really the central idea for our whole explainer today. The focus is shifting from how you physically edit something to what you want to create. It's a really profound change in the whole creative process. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, on one hand, you've got the old way, manipulating pixels. This is what editors have done for decades, right? Physically cutting film, dragging clips around on a timeline. It's a very technical, hands-on, almost surgical process. But on the other side, you've got the new way, manipulating intent. Here, you're not the surgeon anymore, you're the director. You just state your vision, make this scene feel more tense, or cut this together like a 90s music video, and the AI becomes your incredibly skilled editor, executing that intent for you. So the obvious thought here is, okay, I'm gonna go build the next Adobe Premiere, right? Well, maybe not. The real opportunity, the biggest prize, probably isn't in trying to compete head-on with these massive established giants. That is a really, really tough hill to climb. The real gold rush, where the exciting stuff is happening, is in creating these super specialized tools. Think about vertical specific solutions that solve one unique painful problem for a single industry. Or think about tools that just unblock one single frustrating part of the workflow that everyone hates. It's all about precision, not trying to build another one-size-fits-all editor. Okay, to make this feel really concrete, we're going to explore 5 startup ideas that perfectly show this shift to manipulating intent. And these concepts, they run the gamut from tools we could honestly see next year to some real moonshots that could define the next decade of video. First up is an idea that could be an absolute game changer for marketing and sales. I mean, for decades, advertising has just been a one-to-many broadcast. But what if video ads were no longer one-size-fits-all? The problem is obvious, right? Static ads are just not that efficient. So the solution is an AI platform that takes one single master video and customizes it for every single person who sees it. It could use AI to change the dialogue, mention their name, their company, and even lip sync it perfectly. And here's the crucial insight. Video stops being a one-way broadcast and it starts becoming a two-way conversation. Okay, idea number 2. Let's jump over to e-commerce. This is an industry with a huge, and I mean huge, need for video content that can scale. So if you're a brand with thousands of products on your site, professional video for every item is just way too expensive. So this solution connects directly to an inventory feed, say from Shopify. It automatically pulls product info, raw footage, and then intelligently pieces together a unique video for each product. And here's the clever part. This isn't just filling in a boring template. It uses computer vision to actually understand what's in the video, so it can make smart calls like, okay, wait until the model turns around to show the back of the jacket, and then I'll pop up the logo. Our third idea is a tool that could literally save film and TV studios millions and millions of dollars in post-production. You can basically think of it as an insurance policy against simple human error on set. Oh man, reshoots are an absolute nightmare. If an actor accidentally looks at the wrong camera or the lighting is just a little bit off, you might have to spend a fortune to go back and fix it. This tool would be a plugin for software like Premiere or DaVinci Resolve that uses generative AI to fix those mistakes after the fact. Imagine being able to redirect an actor's gaze, change the time of day from noon to a golden hour sunset, or even swap the color of a character's shirt, all with just a few clicks. It's an immediate, high-value solution to a very expensive problem. All right, this next idea scales way up to solve a problem for massive media organizations. It's all about unlocking the incredible value that's just trapped inside their dormant, forgotten video archives. Think about it. News agencies, sports leagues, movie studios, they all have decades of footage just sitting on hard drives collecting digital dust. Why? Because it's basically impossible to search. This tool would be an index everything engine.
It would watch the entire archive and understand it semantically, which means it gets the context and the meaning of what's happening. This would let you make these incredibly specific queries, like the one you see here. Show me every single clip of a red car crashing into a fruit stand between 1990 and 2000, where the driver looks angry. And boom, the system just serves up those clips instantly. And for our last idea, number 5, this one is a real look into the crystal ball. It's a tool that could fundamentally change how movies get pitched, how they get approved, and ultimately how they get created.
Look, a script on a page is flat. It's hard to get a feel for the timing, the camera angles, the emotion. This tool would let a director feed their script in and instantly get a rough, animated version of their movie. It doesn't have to be perfect or beautiful, it just has to communicate the vision. And the big, long-term vision here? In 10 years, studios might not even read PDF scripts anymore. They'll just watch your AI-generated pre-visualization to decide whether or not to greenlight your film. So we've seen 5 really powerful ideas, from the practical things we could see soon to the really futuristic stuff. But how will all this technology actually roll out? It's not going to happen all at once. There's a pretty logical, decade-long roadmap for how these capabilities are probably going to develop. In the next 1 to 3 years, the focus is going to be on workflow automation, using computer vision to do all the tedious tasks like tagging clips or automatically removing silences. Then, in years 4 to 7, we'll see the rise of generative assets. So you'll need a drone shot of Tokyo at sunset, you'll just prompt an AI to create a perfect one from scratch. And finally, in the long term, say years 8 to 10, we get to real-time generation. This is where movies and video games essentially merge into one interactive, dynamic medium. Okay, so let's zoom out. We've talked about the tech, the startups, the roadmap, but what are the big picture takeaways from this massive shift? What does it all mean for us, for creators, and for society as a whole? It really boils down to 3 huge trends to watch. First, democratization. The technical barriers to creating amazing video are just going to collapse. Your ability to write a great prompt will become more important than your ability to use complex software. Second, synthetic data is going to take over. The traditional stock footage market, it's probably going to be completely upended by AI that can generate any clip you could possibly need. And third, all of this is going to create a massive new industry for ethical watermarking and verification, just so we can tell what's real and what's not. And all this brings us to our final thought. It's a pretty fascinating, kind of mind-bending question that gets to the very core of how we tell stories. When an entire movie can be generated from a simple prompt, what happens to the art of the script? What does the future of narrative itself even look like? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.